Hello everybody, welcome to another video. So today I wanted to go over different attachments that you can have on your weapons in Siege, whether that's muzzle attachments, grips. The laser, I'll let you guys figure that one out on your own. It's pretty simple, just gives you an ADS speed boost. So here we go. Here we've spawned in as Twitch with the F2. The F2 is notorious for having high recoil, so it's going to be a perfect example for us to go over the different kinds of changes that weapons have, all right? So to give us a baseline here, this is the F2 with me not managing recoil and the base weapon with no attachments, right? The one thing that you're going to notice here is your first shot and your second shot have a huge gap in them on the F2. And then after that, the shots get closer and closer, and as the recoil goes by, some of your shots are actually getting really close. So we know that later on in the recoil of this weapon, the recoil is going to be a little bit easier to manage. So we need to focus on getting just this first section. There's a couple of ways that you could do that. If we come here to the barrel attachment section for the F2, the flash hider will control your vertical recoil, or at least help mitigate it, right? So we're going to put the flash hider on, respawn, and try that. Now this will put in a different color, so we'll be able to compare them. Let's line up our first shot level with that, the first shot from the kind of control line there. And we can see how the pattern has changed. Our first shot to second shot distance has been dramatically reduced. I mean, it's fairly noticeable. Fairly noticeable difference here, right? And then subsequent shots after that are packed in a little more closely than you'll see on this one. So your recoil control is going to be a little bit easier with flash hider. If you are on PC, if you're playing on PC, this is probably your best bet. Because on PC, the vertical recoil is a lot harder to control than horizontal recoil. So you need to mitigate vertical recoil. On console, however, vertical recoil is not nearly as difficult to control. So what you want to do is manage your horizontal recoil, which we can see there is some here. It goes left, then it sweeps right, then back to left, then a hard right later after what is that? Almost 15 rounds or so? I haven't counted them. If any of you guys in chat count that up, let me know. Let me know in the comments how many rounds that is. But there we go. Another thing that we need to look at here is that this first shot to second shot is still a pretty big gap, even compared to the other gaps in this same lineup there. So let's try something else. If we go to the barrel section again, we pick muzzle brake. The muzzle brake reduces the weapon kick of one single shot. What this will control is the distance between that first and second shot, because we know that the recoil of the F2 is manageable after like that fourth or fifth shot period. So once you get past 4 or 5 shots, you can manage that. So what we need to control is those first 4 or 5 shots. All right, so let's throw a muzzle brake on there so that it helps us manage that first to second shot gap. It's going to give us a different color here, same thing. Now you can see a huge difference here. First shot to second shot, what have we noticed, right? That gap is amazingly small, even compared to the flash hider, which mitigates vertical recoil. So here's our baseline. Our baseline, first shot to second shot, if we measure it with the sight there, we're all the way down to the second line, right? But this first one, we're not even to the first line from the first shot, right? Using our muzzle brake. So if you have a weapon that has high kick on that first shot, where your gap from your first shot to your second shot is super high, like the F2 for example, a muzzle brake is a great option, and that's actually what I run on the F2, because the rest of this recoil is pretty easy to handle. Also, if you haven't hit that subscribe button by now, please do. We're trying to get 2,000 subscribers, and we are so close, and I would certainly appreciate everybody that subscribes. Thank you. Let's try out a different weapon here. So we're going to go with Gridlock with the M249 saw. Now, we do have this in the base mode again, baseline. So we know our first shot to second shot gap is actually not bad. We probably don't need to manage that. Just simply pulling down a little bit will help. If we go straight up, 3 shots in and we're already off to the left. Not going straight up very well there. But we're going wildly off to the right, almost back onto center line again. So let's add an attachment here and see what we can change up. Is the vertical recoil is really not terrible. So I think I'm going to pass up on the flash hider. And also the muzzle brake, we know our first to second shot gap is really not that high. So we'll pass up on the muzzle brake, which leaves us with the compensator, which reduces our horizontal movement while shooting. So we're going to throw in a compensator on there. We'll respawn. And let's try this again. So we'll slide it over just a touch, line up with our first shot. Now you can tell automatically just looking at those two lines, like let me bring it a little bit closer here. You can tell this first line, you can see the waves in it, and the second line's pretty straight. I mean, just go straight up the board. So that compensator really takes the edge off of that horizontal recoil for you. If you're playing console, this is your best option because that horizontal recoil is a lot more difficult to control than the vertical. So you're much better off to go with the compensator on your weapons. Just a tip for you. All right, let's put it back out to 10. And let's try something else. Now, with some weapons, with most weapons I would say, such as the M249 saw here, you have a grip available. Now, there are 3 grips. You have the horizontal grip, which increases your operator movement speed. This is a great option for fast operators, such as Ash, for example. People who are Ash rushing want to use a horizontal grip. Yes, you lose out on some of the recoil mitigation. What you're losing in recoil mitigation, you're making up for in speed and surprise and violence of action, right? With a weapon like the M249 saw, the horizontal grip could be a good option to try to mitigate the speed debuff that they put on all LMGs. But it's probably not a good option for most weapons, or if you're trying to put some serious control on your recoil, such as if you have troubles or difficulty with aiming, then the vertical grip is probably your best bet. Vertical grip controls vertical recoil. Your angled grip reduces the time it takes to reload the weapon. So with the vertical grip here and the compensator, you are now effectively putting a vertical reduction and a horizontal reduction on your recoil. There you go. You can see there's significantly more rounds in the same amount of space than there are in these other 2 lines, right? If you have double the mitigation on there, you've got vertical control and horizontal control. It really just brings that group in to where you can just fire and hold it on almost a single point. Like if you can't get kills with aim like that, like we got something else to work on. All right. I want to go over real quick the horizontal grip on here because if you look right here, it says mobility run speed modifier 5%. All right, it gave us a 5% run speed modifier. You can see on the other weapon where we've got a vertical grip, there's a 0%. So putting on the horizontal grip offers you a 5% speed boost to your operator. Don't be confused thinking that this is the best and only speed boost option that you have. It's not. There are other options to make your operator even faster. Now, the horizontal grip does give you a 5% speed modifier, but you know what gives you a better modifier? Pistols. Pistol has a 10% speed modifier, which you can see at the bottom of the screen. Where does that line us up? Right here. Right? Mobility. Okay? Speed modifier is 10% with the pistol out. With the rifle, with the horizontal grip, you're only looking at a 5% speed boost. Hopefully this removes any difficulty that you have with managing recoil, as you can just set up the weapon for success, right? If you have any other questions or comments or anything that you want to point out that I may have missed, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Last operator standing. 15 seconds left. 10 seconds. Diffuser is active, protected at all costs. One friendly operator remaining.
Let's go.
Top 4 eliminated.
Let's go, chat.